Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with another rough day in the market. I kind of was afraid this was going to happen, that yesterday was kind of just a blip and that we are in a more of a sustained downturn in the market. Looking at the heat map here, you can see a lot of red on the board. Big tech, again, got hit pretty hard. Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Apple, all down roughly 2 to 3%. AMD down 3.6%, so I got to do some managing tomorrow. Micron down 0.6%. I've noticed that Micron doesn't move much when the overall market either goes up or goes down. Micron is usually a little bit more tame. Like, even if the market sells off hard, Micron will be red, but it just won't be that red. Or if the market really goes green, yes, Micron will be green, but not that green. So Micron just seems more of a stable ticker compared to some of the other semiconductor tickers like AMD or Nvidia. I was really hoping that AMD was going to get a pump today because they released some teaser videos yesterday about their new upcoming Ryzen chipsets and their graphics cards, and that they're going to be released in October. So I thought we'd get a nice little pump today on AMD, but as you can see, it didn't happen. Let's take a look at the Robinhood graph. So we started off good. We gapped up a little bit where AMD opened up 1.4%. Futures actually looked pretty decent this market, pre-market. So I thought, all right, we'll have another green day, maybe at the least a flat day. But as you can see, it was just kind of a slow and steady sell-off all day long. AMD, like the rest of the market, ended up in the red. AMD closed down almost 3.4%, and as of the making of this video, it's still down, trading flat in after-hours trading. So, gonna have to do some managing tomorrow because right now I have two cash secured puts on AMD at the 85 strike, and as you can see, we're well below that right now. So I have to decide if I want to just get assigned shares at $85 a piece, which I don't think I want to do, or just roll them out till next Friday for hopefully some credit, which I think is most likely what I'm going to do. I didn't roll them out today because the closer the share price is to my strike price of 85, the more potential credit I could receive when I roll them out. So, it's a risk because tomorrow we could sell off even more. And now the share price is even further away in the money compared to my 85 strike. And then I would have to roll for either less credit or maybe even a debit if I really want to roll. I think if it gets to the point where I have to pay to roll the options out, I'll just end up getting assigned the shares and then sell covered calls. But I don't want to get assigned shares right now. It wouldn't be the end of the world because I am bullish on AMD long term. But I just want to have my options expire worthless, to be honest with you. And if this is just temporary and we have a more of a bullish trend next week, then I think it's possible because we're not that far away. Just looking back at the AMD chart, we were at about $82 and some change this morning. So I think we could get back to 85 at some point. The other thing I could look into is maybe rolling my options down to an 84 strike. So let's just see right now. So I sold those cash secured puts on AMD that expire tomorrow for a total of $4.35 in premium. Now, as you can see, this is for the following Friday, the 18th. The 85 strike is going for $6.75. So right now, if I bought back those 85 strike cash secured puts that expire tomorrow, they're currently worth $6.05. So $6.75 minus $6.05, I could roll them till next Friday at the same strike at 85 and still collect $70 in credit. So that's definitely a possibility. Now, actually, the interesting thing is that right now, since I can close that position out for $6.05, the 84 strike is actually $6.03. I'm sure when the market opens tomorrow, I can penny this up or down a few pennies. So I might, if I really wanted to, if I can get this to be like 605 as well, I could roll it till next Friday at the 84 strike, so it's closer to the share price, meaning it's going to be hopefully a little bit more likely to expire worthless if AMD rallies. But the downside is that I wouldn't collect any credit. It would kind of be a wash, right? Because I would break even because I would be getting the same amount in premium that I would have to pay to close my current options out. So I don't think I want to do that. I still like to collect that $70 in credit because I think that's a decent return. I mean, if you do $70 in premium per contract divided by, again, 8,500 in collateral for that week, that's still a 0.8% return on your capital. So it's still a good weekly revenue or weekly cash flow. And like I said, I think we're just due for a little bit of a rally. I think AMD only sold off because the whole market sold off, as you can see in this heat map here. So I don't think it was because AMD had any bad news coming out. It's just because the whole market was selling off. The one thing, though, that I'm not too happy about with AMD right now is that if you look at this TradingView graph, so these are 30-minute candles, so each candle represents 30 minutes. You can see that it's trading below both the 50 and 21-day moving averages. So as you can see today, around noontime, in the morning we were trading above those averages, which is good. That's a bullish sign. But then we crossed below those averages in the afternoon, which is bearish now. And then if I go to the one-day chart, where each candle represents 1 day, you can see again, as of September 3rd, we crossed below the 21-day moving average, this orange line, and we've been trading below it for the past 4 days, including today. And the interesting thing, if you can see by this red candle, I drew this trend line here as a area of, well, what once was resistance. We broke above it, it was support, but then we broke below it, and now it looks like it's resistance again. The 3 trading days prior to today, we were below this trend line. Today, we opened up right at that trend line and then closed below it. So that trend line is at about $83 and some change. So that tells me that it's going to take a little bit extra oomph for AMD to get above 83. And right now, my puts are at 85. I might be able to get them down to 84, still above that trend line. So I am not in a great position right now because this is kind of bearish for me, because if my cash grid puts were at 83 or 82, okay, I'd feel better because they're below this area of resistance, but they're above it. So I would need a strong rally or some good news, like maybe a stimulus passing, or maybe AMD releases specs of their new chips and graphics card that are really great and going to beat out NVIDIA, and that causes like a huge surge up in AMD. So it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I'm probably going to, unless something crazy happens tonight and we gap up and go like really big green tomorrow, I'm 99% prepared to roll out my cash grid puts until next week as well. But you know, it's funny because the one ticker that's been good to me so far is the one that I'm kind of bag holding, and that's Virgin Galactic or Space. Space was green for the majority of the day and then just couldn't really hold on much longer. Around 2 p.m. started selling off. We only closed down about 0.2%, so not the end of the world. But I have covered calls on Virgin Galactic. I have 2 covered calls because I own 200 shares of Space that I sold for $59 in premium each. So those were at the 19 strike, which is the price that I was assigned shares of. So obviously, you know, we're at 1757 right now after hours. I don't think, unless something crazy happens, that we're going to get to 19 by end of day tomorrow. So I'm probably going to collect my max profit, which is 59 times 2 or $118, and still own 200 shares. And then I'll just sell more covered calls for next Friday as well. But it's really interesting because Space has been really good to me lately, because $59 in premium for my 100 shares, which I have a cost basis or a collateral of $1,900, that is a 3.1% return on my capital, which is very crazy for covered calls. So Space, you know, I gotta say, it's been really good to me. Its premiums are always juicy. It's kind of been trading relatively flat. Let's take a look at the TradingView graph here. You can see I drew some areas of support and resistance here, and I drew these lines. So these are 1-day candles, and this resistance line is at $18 and about 30 cents. So again, similar situation to AMD. My covered calls are at 19, so it's going to take a little bit more oomph for Space to get above this area of resistance. However, the area of support is around 14, and it really hasn't gotten that low in recent history. I mean, the last time it was around 14 was back in early June. So, you know, if I could go back in time, I'd rather sell some more cash grid puts in Space because the premiums are juicy. If I can get in at like 15, 16, I could also reduce my cost basis if I do get assigned shares of Space. But let's just take a look at the 30-minute candles to see what we look like today. So again, Space is now trading below the 21-day moving average, which is not a great sign, but it's still above the 50-day moving average. So maybe we'll bounce off the 17s if we touch this 50-day MA. Let's just go back to the 1 day to see where we are in relation to the moving averages. So we're trading above the 21-day moving average. In fact, we closed pretty much right on it, but we are still below the 50-day moving average. So I am kind of predicting, based on this TA, that we're going to have a green day in space tomorrow if this 21-day moving average holds. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I think if we have another like just big sell-off in the market, it's going to be hard for Virgin Galactic to hold on. But that's where I am right now. So I really have to think about it. I think what I'm most likely going to end up doing is rolling out my AMD cash secured puts to the 85 strike for next week and just buying myself more time and then collecting a little bit more premium along the way. Most likely going to have my space covered calls expire worthless and collect max profit. And most likely I will still end up holding shares of Virgin Galactic. So that means I'll either just close out my position for a penny tomorrow and then open up covered calls tomorrow for the following Friday, or I'll just ride them out to max expiration if they don't go to a penny by early morning, let's say. And then I'll just open up more covered calls on space Monday morning. So, yep, that was my trading day for today. Really wasn't a great day. Kind of just bummed out that we're selling off in the market again. You know, stock trading and options trading is so much easier when stocks only go up and the market is just green day after day after day. But this is really where you learn like hard lessons and also learn new strategies to kind of hedge. You know, one thing you could have done, because as the market was selling off, the VIX or the volatility index kept going up. So if we take a look at a ticker like UVXY here, you could have played a hedge where if you bought stock, essentially, it's not really stock, but if you bought into this or bought options in terms of calls, you could have hedged against the downturn by making money from VIX rising. So just something to keep in mind. I mean, I don't personally play UVXY because it is a leverage ticker. So the last thing you want to do is get assigned shares of this, and it's designed to just sell off over time. So as you see, if we scroll out, you can see UVXY is designed to basically go to zero over time. So that's why you really don't want to get assigned shares of UVXY. This is something that you basically just day trade, or at the worst swing trade, but this is not something that's meant to hold long term. That's not what it's designed for. But yeah, hopefully you had a better day than I did. Let me know in the Discord server or in the comments below how your trading day went. Let me know if you have to manage some positions, what your plans are for tomorrow. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and happy trading.